lyrebird, either of two species of Australian birds named for the shape of their tail when spread in courtship display. The name also aptly suggests a musician. Inhabiting forests of southeastern Australia, lyrebirds are ground dwellers, and their brown bodies rather resemble those of chickens. In the so-called superb lyrebird, the male's tail consists of 8 pairs of ornate feathers, which resemble a lyre when erect. There are 6 pairs of filmy whitish feathers. 1 pair of 60 to 75 cm, 24 to 30 inch feathers that form the arms of the lyre are broad and curled at the tip and are silvery on one side and marked with golden brown crescents on the other. There are also 2 equally long wires, narrow, stiff, slightly curved feathers that correspond to a lyre's strings. They are situated in the center of the curved arms. With a total length of about 1 meter, 39 inches, the male lyrebird is the longest of passerine birds. When the male displays in small clearings, which he makes at several places in the forest, he brings his tail forward so that the white plumes form a canopy over his head and the lyre-like feathers stand out to the side. In this position he sings, while prancing, in rhythm, far-carrying melodious notes interspersed with perfect mimicry of other creatures and even of mechanical sounds. The breeding season is rainy winter, when insect food is abundant. The nest is a large mound of sticks, usually on the ground, that contains a spacious chamber for the single egg. Nest building and incubation are done by the female, which resembles the male except in tail development. Albert's lyrebird, M. alberti, is a much less showy bird than the superb lyrebird but an equally good mimic. It is rarely seen because its range is restricted to deep rainforest. Lyrebirds were formerly thought to be related to pheasants or to the birds of paradise. They are now grouped in the suborder Passeri, the largest of all the perching birds or songbirds. This bird impresses, not just with its uniquely beautiful tail feathers but with its elaborate songs and incredible skill at mimicry. This Australian bird uses its voice to imitate everything from a jackhammer to a chainsaw to a crying baby. It can even carry 2 tunes at the same time. Besides mechanical sounds, the male lures a mate with a complex natural song that uses bits borrowed by at least 20 other types of birds. The bird's brilliant mimicry is largely due to its syrinx, which is the most complex of any songbird. Menur alberti is smaller than M. Nova hollandae, and the male's tail feathers are as showy. Lyrebirds used to be called peacock wrens. A displaying male superb lyrebird is on the back of Australia's 10-cent coin. Lyrebirds are shy and secretive, and it takes some patience to find one in their forest home in Australia or Tasmania. They spend the day among the bushes, and at night they climb to the top of the tree canopy. Their wings are not strong, and they don't like to fly, so they'll most likely run away from danger and use their wings to help them leap away. Lyrebird nests. The superb lyrebird female prepares an untidy domed nest on a mound of moist earth or against a tree or tree stump. The nest has a side entrance. Inside, the hen lays a single egg. Albert's lyrebird builds a nest in a crevice between rocks, cliffs, caves, or a rock ledge. In most ways, lyrebirds are plain. Their feathers are neutral colored, though they may have areas of red. It is large for a songbird, with male lyrebirds weighing over 2 pounds. It's also a long bird, with a longish beak, long neck, long body, long, strong legs, and long tail. But the tail feathers of the male make it stand out. The superb lyrebird has a tail that can be as long as 28 inches. The 16 feathers are mostly silver filaments that resemble a veil and 2 silver feathers. These 14 feathers are bordered by feathers shaped like the frame of a lyre. They are in fact called lyrates. The Albert's lyrebird's tail is not as spectacular, but still has 16 feathers made of filaments and lyrates. Females also have long tails, but they lack the filamental feathers. Females of both species are a little smaller than males. These birds are solitary and shy and are only seen together during the breeding season or as a hen caring for a chick. They are rather like domesticated chickens in that they prefer to live in the ground and scratch to uncover seeds and prey found under the leaf litter. Males sing and perform their fascinating mimicry all year, but they really put on a show during the breeding season in winter. This Australian fowl eats mostly invertebrates such as spiders, centipedes, worms, insects, and insect larvae. It will also take small frogs and lizards and eat seeds now and then. Predators include birds of prey such as goshawks, feral dogs, cats, and foxes. Though they're protected in some areas, humans still hunt lyrebirds because they are capable of disturbing planted areas with their scratching and for the male's tail feathers. Wildfires, especially those made more frequent and intense through climate change, also endanger the bird's habitat. Human encroachment is also a threat. After mating, the female builds a large, messy, domed nest and lays a single egg. She usually builds close to the ground but will construct the nest in a tree if there are predators or people about. She will incubate the egg and raise the chick by herself. Chicks are born helpless and naked. The lyrebird can have a lifespan of 30 years and is not ready to reproduce until it's at least 5 years old. The male's showy tail feathers don't even start to come in until he's at least 3. But as the bird gets older, his repertoire of songs and sounds becomes more complex and more accurate. The conservation status of M. novahollandiae is categorized as least concern, though the wildfires that ravaged Australia in 2019 and 2020 might cause conservationists to rethink its status. M. alberti is listed as near threatened.